let's look at the situation out there. The markets are volatile. The job market, we don't know really where it's going in terms of job security and whatever it is. And basically the entire world's in kind of a limbo in a lot of places.
Hello Max, and thanks for joining us again. So let's jump straight in. And what is the fifth pillar of the server-side leadership model we have been covering over the last few sessions?
Thanks, Chad. It's good to be back. So far, we've obviously been talking about what? To hire people the right way, to onboard them and train them right, to team them up in the right kind of way as well. Team building, extremely important. And then, of course, to recognize and reward them right? Now, the fifth pillar is all about treating them right, basically putting people first and treating them right. Now, let's look at the situation out there. The markets are volatile. The job market, we don't know really where it's going in terms of job security and whatever it is. And basically the entire world's in kind of a limbo in a lot of places. So when you look at that, we're still expecting people to perform at their top. We're expecting them to be engaged, and we're still expecting them to be around and be loyal. Now, if you're expecting that to happen, of course you got to at least treat them right. So that's the idea of, we've been talking about this engagement before as well. That's where the connection is, and then treat them right should be the very foundation of it all.
So what is the overall relevance of this fifth pillar to the success of an organization?
All right, so we're talking about, a team that's working hard and is basically engaged, and then they get a public announcement from the leadership team, hey, listen, we're going to have a major restructuring. Now, usually nowadays, when you hear restructuring, you know what's coming. And then it goes 10 months without anybody being notified about anything. Imagine the morale right there, right? We're talking about the executive who only at some point when he's sitting with his family realizes, hey, I don't even have patience for my family anymore. What's going on here? He's been pushing himself too far, and he's been pushing and basically verbally abusing his team for far too long. And that's where the turning came for that guy. We're talking about the single employee who all of a sudden gets approached, and he's performing well. All of a sudden is approached by her boss, who tells her, hey, we know you're doing everything you can, but could you behave more and perform more like John does in the team without any reason whatsoever? So all of these kind of situations exist all around us. And unless we start focusing on it, nothing's going to change. How about yourself, Jack? Do you have a story?
I think for me personally, it would probably be more like maybe a leader being too overly personal in a workspace on some things that you feel, maybe if you're having a bit of a down day, you don't really want someone diving into your personal life a bit too much, maybe.
That's the thing. So it's delicate things going around all over, right? So let's look at a couple of numbers which in the past sessions we've been looking at a little bit at least, but 9 out of 10 employers believe that when people leave, they leave because of higher salary or money. While in fact the reality is only 12% do that. The rest leave for other reasons. 3 out of 4 employees, they don't quit their jobs because of the company, they quit their bosses, connecting it to the leadership. All right? And so there are a lot of numbers like that around, and we need to pay attention to it. There are a large number of employees who start, and within their first 6 months, it's actually 30%, start already looking at a new job. What are we doing wrong? And I'm not pointing fingers at leadership teams and saying that the companies is to carry all the blame, but it's the companies and businesses and organizations who want their people to be able to be engaged and perform at the top. So something's got to be done.
So finally, to finish up, do you have any advice for leaders who want to improve in that area?
I think at least there are a couple of things, and number one would be, ask yourself the question, who am I being as a leader? Am I being authentic? Am I treating my people right? And secondly, do we have the right surveys and everything in place so that we are asking the right questions? Now, we've got to also remember and realize that the motivations of each individual employee is different. So we really got to be able to ask this on an individual level and actually take action based on that as well. So the asking and surveying in the right way is absolutely essential. The second part is, companies spend millions on figuring out customer experience and how the customer journey is, where the touch points are. And to be honest with you, when you look at the statistics, even that side of the things, organizations are not necessarily getting very right. But it's time to start looking at the employee experience. Some companies are doing it, but I don't think there is enough investment in that area. You need to, I would say, recommend to a specific leader who has maybe a team that they're leading, go to your HR department and ask them, hey, how can I act as a leader? How are we measuring engagement? What are the criteria we're looking at? How do we measure satisfaction? What actions do we take? How can I learn to treat my team better and engage them more? What is it there? And fundamentally, something is very important. Your HR team should be delighted to have you there because you're caring. And if that's not the case, well, I'd say you got a condition. And you got to work on that, right? Number 3 is, we've been talking about recognition before. Recognize authentically. Make sure that whatever you recognize your individual team members within, it's true, it's real, and it's authentic. And make sure that you create this atmosphere of trust and loyalty, because that's really, truly essential. And Gallup always says that you can increase engagement by 50% if the employee actually has a close friend at work. Well, I'm not saying that you as a leader need to become a close friend of your team, but enable them and create that atmosphere so that they can get closer to each other and build long-term relationships, right? So I think it's absolutely essential that we treat people right and we put our people first.
Max, fantastic stuff. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
And thank you for watching. And if you like this video and would like to see all of Max's videos, be sure to head over to dukascopy.tv.